Hey guys, so I'm having a little trouble with Dawn. I'm gonna have my assistant give her a call. So if you could look her up and give her a call, um, uh, let me know if you can't, or email her or whatever, please. So I'm just gonna say that here so I can associate it. Okay. I'm gonna, let's just go. So we are expecting Dawn Crystal next. I was joking with the earlier group and said I have a nooner with my good friend Megan, but it's actually noon her time. So Dawn was up next. It looked like her screen came on, but can't hear her and I don't see her. So if she shows up, great. And if not, then we'll just go ahead and facilitate and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, and then move on with Megan. And then with Dawn, I'll go ahead and see if I can at least get an audio call for you guys. So hello, Renata. And if everyone would, I'd love for you to say hi, where you're from, what brought you here, what you want to change. If we could facilitate anything, what would it be? And let's just go ahead and make this a facilitation, a quantum activation call. Let's just make it possible. And then if Dawn comes on, well, then it'll just be even greater. But I don't want to stop the feed. So we'll see. Hi, other Dawn. So far, no technical difficulties until right now. I am very grateful that actually the one technical difficulty was all my fault yesterday. So we've had one. Love this platform. It's called Be.live, which fits greatly into my brand about being. And I love that it's just worked out so well. Just whoa, it's just a really, really big deal. Hey Vera, hi again. She's like made it back on. Good to have you. And again, if you are I would love some engagement. Tell me where you're from, what you're here to change. If there's something, what awareness you'd like to get out of it. We can do some verbal processing. I do this really cool stuff, and I would love to just take you deeper. Caroline said, if possible, I would love a bit of healing for hot flashes. Thank you. Okay, Dawn is trying back to get on. So, and she can definitely facilitate that through the sounds that she does. My work, it's all done through question. So Dawn is from Toronto. Hi. She's working on health challenges, thyroid. Yeah, thyroid's a big one these days, and night sweats. Okay, so lots of hot stuff going on out there. Idina, hi from Portugal. Wow, thanks. And Dagana, I love that name. Hello. Thank you guys so much for being here. And like I said, we're having a little bit of trouble. Dawn's camera is not working, or audio is not working. If we could just get her audio working, I would, we could have a lot of fun. She is amazing. And if we don't get her on now, we can definitely get you previous calls plus an audio interview later. So, but she's wild. It's funny. The first time that I ever talked with her, I found her online and she had an audio recording. Like it was just kind of a flat site with an audio. And I listened to it and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. So, all right. So, happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Yeah, it's my birthday. Guess how old I am? No, maybe not. You can. I will be honest about it. Vera says, I would love to clear all emotional trauma. Good luck clearing it all on one call. No, I'm just kidding. That may be causing my neck and upper back discomfort, especially between shoulder blades muscles. They're very tense. Okay, so that one's easier for me to clear than hot flashes, because hot flashes are very, very deep. And in fact, this and the whole week of distressing and hitting it from all different sources would probably be an easier way to, but we'll definitely address that as we can. One of the things I found out about hot flashes is there's also what's considered in Chinese medicine hot food. So if you are eating a lot of hot foods, cinnamons, gingers, and things like that, it will escalate it. I do know that for sure. But we can tap into the energy in a little bit. I need to get in alignment really before I can go there, though. So now is just not the time. But Vera, with the upper back and neck, if I could see you, I'd say, could you point to the area? And, so if it's like, in between your shoulder blades, a little bit different than if it's like right here. If it's both, the first question I would ask is, who or what is being a pain in the neck? And sometimes that could be you, and then we can go into the topic. So as I go through the facilitation of questions, you can go ahead and answer. Down below the shoulder blades are oftentimes you holding back a capacity to expand what is like your energetic wings. So who or what may be holding back your energetic wings? And everything that is, would you destroy and release? And take a breath. And it helps if you sigh. Helps me, because you activate that vagus nerve. Beautiful. All right. As Vera comes, Dawn is ready to join. It just gave me that message. Dawn, can you hear me? Can you turn the camera on? Can you say hello? I'm having a feeling. Renee says, when I ask my body, I have trauma in my throat and right ear. So that's specifically something that you're trying to make right about what you're hearing and what you're trying to say. So what have you made so vital, valuable, and real about your rightness in what you say and speak and hear? And everything that is time to breath and release. What have you made so vital, valuable, and real about what you hear and speak? And would you be willing to destroy and uncreate everything that is? And take a breath. Whew. Ooh, that was a good one. I like it. Jeneth, I heard about the event through one of your invitees. What if you tell us about you? Okay, I'd love to. I actually had planned to do that later in the week. And maybe your favorite processes. Thank you. Yeah. So I actually have a whole program about clearing the monkey mind, by the way. I read into that a little bit deeper. So we can do a lot of that work as well during this call. So just a bit about me. In 2005, I had a massive corporate crash, like to the extent of like what is this world kind of corporate crash. I was deeply depressed. I had a job that was almost like a dream job. I was making over $100,000 a year, and people wanted my job. And I I just like couldn't do it. Like it wasn't in alignment with anything or whatever I was. So I ended up quitting that job. And I had this degree in nutrition, and I had always had some nutrition clients. And so I worked with them. And what I found was no matter what diet or process I gave them, they continued to struggle with it. So I got really frustrated and really tired of working with these clients that actually wouldn't do what was required. So I would start them on making, changes in other ways. And then that's why I started to, I think in 2007, The Secret came out. So I started studying on that work for a very long time in a very deep way. And I did an interview series back in 2009 and interviewed everyone that was in The Secret. That ended up becoming a book, and we became a bestseller on Amazon, and just massive stuff started happening. And to the stuff and to the limit of like a breaking point. Like I was drained, I was exhausted, I was empty. And you'd think that doing this work that it would be really weird for you to get empty, right? Like what else is possible here? So that was the direction of where I went. I met Access Consciousness and the co-founder of Access Consciousness, Dr. Dane here. And I started to kind of, we did a barter and a trade at the time where I helped him with marketing because I was really good at it at the time. And he helped me back by helping me with like some of these issues on, overwhelm and frustration. Those were the two that were so high up in my world that I just, I couldn't manage. In fact, and then 2011, we had done all these joint venture partnerships from a direct marketing standpoint that, I had a team of 5, sometimes 6. And I got so frustrated and exhausted that I just had to close the doors. And I publicly came out and did a video and said, I quit. And it was like, not like there was any possibility of me ever coming back at the time. Then we took that money, we started buying a couple houses, we do some Airbnbs and things like that, and just travel and living my life. It really became more about me living my life from the energy and creating it from, this ecstatic way of living. So then I started to question, okay, so how can I go back and remodel my work so it's not so draining for me? And so we've created, staff systems. We've created, processes in my life so that, I can manage the overwhelm in me. We've really, truly revamped everything. And what's great most of all is that I live a life of joy. You guys get it, right? But I also don't compromise. I do sometimes, not very much though. It's mostly with my daughter who's 13. And then I have a 20 button. So I'm, it's like, it's always, we're growing, we're changing. But I am joy. I don't have days of depression. And if I do, it's usually something that I can come in and change right away. One of the processes that I've used over and over and over again is like flipping everything upside down. And I go, everything's the opposite of what it appears to be. And then there's other processes and it'll shift very quickly. So that's kind of why I do this work. I've gone into the depths of hating my body. I've gone into the depths of, of whatever, right, for way in my life. And I just had reached a breaking point and decided, you know what? Now is the time. It's time for me to really live. And I'm tired of self-judgment. I'm tired of others judging me. I'm, willing to receive whatever comes because I'm done. I'm just like so done living by other people's realities, so to speak. Ooh, well, we could process on that, and that might actually help hot flashes, because I bet that's a part of a collective. So let's start with that. Let's go. So when have you decided that somebody else's dream was also your dream? When have you made someone else's dream also your dream? Everything that is in entirety, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate? Whew. And take a breath. When have you made someone else's reality your reality? Everything that is times a gazillion would you destroy? And take a breath. When have you made someone else's reality and dreams your dreams? Everything that is would you destroy and uncreate? And take a breath. Ooh. When did you align and agree to aging, olding, and hot sweats? Everything that is would you destroy and uncreate? And take a breath. So concluded and computated a reality around what's going on in your world, would you let go, destroy, and uncreate? And take a breath. Whew. Nice. Rod said, I have a bump on my right foot close to my toes. It hurts when standing. All right. So that energetically seems that you've hit a bump in the road. So what bumps in the road have we all chosen, hit, that keeps us realigning and agreeing to someone else's realities? And everything that is times a godzillion would you destroy and uncreate? And take a breath. Whew. Nice. May says, one of my favorite practices, destroy and uncreate. Yeah, I went to, the reason that the event that I went to didn't really align to me was because they weren't clearing any of the energy. They were just sharing stories. And one thing that I know about stories is they are past narratives, and they will always stick you if you align and agree with them. Yesterday, I talked a little bit about with one of our speakers, I think it was Nicole. I said, whenever you align or agree or resist and react, you are stuck. You stick yourselves. And so if you go back and look in your life to where have I aligned and agreed with this, whatever is coming up, you can often go back energetically and destroy and uncreate everything that is. Whew, take a breath. Hi, Patricia. She says, Jeneth, I'm just from the doctor and having an issue with my uterus. Not sure if it's cancerous, if there is any clearing for that. Yeah, well, that really, so that's really root related. In the last call, we talked a little bit about going down to the first and second chakras, and sometimes uterus really comes down to where you are rejecting you, and it often starts way back. So how old were you when you first knew that you felt rejected? I would keep processing around those clearings, really letting you in. You're letting you be seen, letting you receive in so many ways. Whew, yeah. And who does it belong to? Meaning, was there some other reality or someone else's reality that you aligned and agreed with that then has stuck you in this reality with the alignment and agreement of that reality. Ooh, that's a good one. And everything that is, will you let go, destroy, and uncreate? Ooh, thank you. Thank you guys for playing. All right, let's see what's coming up now. Yeah, let's go into potency and anger and heat and expression. Can't look like I'm going to be able to get Dawn on, so we're going to have a little bit of time here. So then we can do a real good energetic activation around full expression. Oh, well, she's trying again. So try again. So her screen did pop up, but I still can't hear her. So we'll see how it goes. But let's just keep playing. I love this work. May says, "Wow, I resonate with that." Adding to my list. Yeah, it's funny. When you do this work, I think it's really funny to go, whenever you feel like I didn't hear it, or that was my thing, like the sinking in your energy, those are the ones to continue to play with. So what if you made so vital, valuable, and real about this reality that keeps you from stepping in to your superpowers? Woo! And everything that doesn't allow you to totally acknowledge, claim, and own those superpowers that you've often used against you. Would you destroy and uncreate everything that is in entirety? Whew, take a breath and shift. Oh, all right, nice. What have you made? What have you made so vital, valuable, and real about the wrongness of your superpowers? Everything that is times a gazillion, would you let go, destroy, and uncreate? And take a breath. So, we often use this process called, who does this belong to? Like, is it yours? Something like that. And it really took me a long time to actually get that in my bones, my being, and my essence of what that really meant. So when I say, have you aligned with someone else's reality? So it's like, if somebody else wants the red convertible BMW, and somewhere you're like, I'm going to get a red convertible BMW, right? It's a little bigger than that, but it's like the whole shebang of this reality. It's that person is doing it, I'm going to do it too. And you become like determined and attached to have it, instead of having your reality, which could possibly be juicier and more aligned and have superpowers, right? So if we can get rid of all the stuff that isn't us and get rid of all the illusions of what we think this reality is, well, then we can totally be this full expression and express out some of the potency, the anger, the heat, and anything else that is holding you back. So, whew. So Vera says, I would love a clearing on tight fascia. Yeah, you know what? It depends where it is, right? But what are you making tight? What do you know about it? Yeah, Patricia, use the pod POC, right? I do sometimes, and I was just kind of keeping it open because I hadn't really gone into it all, so I was just keeping it open. But yeah, pod pocket, go for it. Love that. I'd love any other questions that you got, and we'll just keep. I can go all day with no questions, so but if you'll pop them on, I'd love to hear them. But let's go all in to full expression beyond what we've concluded is our reality. That seems what's calling me. And I feel like that's going to express some of the things that are holding you back. Renee says, my husband has plantar fasciitis. Is it usual, the root of that one? It's funny. I've kind of gone through that myself, and I've kind of, concluded that that's me not wanting to take steps forward faster, faster forward, because it stopped me from even being able to run. So I've kind of processed that. It seems to be getting better. Lots of stretching with that one has helped too. Can't always get there through the verbal processing. One of the things I've really added to movement, really just like going for it, moving it, like shake it, move it. And it's kind of funny how that just laughter and expression, even if it's about nothing, changes so much. Whew. All right, so take a breath, and in about 5 minutes, I'll go into an act. I do it a little different. It's not so much meditation as much as it's a, potency. So you'll love it. It's so I use this. Well, I'll tell you about it in a minute. All right. Whew. So what have you? Let's see. When? No. What? Where? What? When? And why? Just kidding. Let's go. Let's just play with. Let's start with when. When have you rejected you? And go on and actually go back to the narrative, the child, the even the story if you want. When was it that you rejected you? When was it? Okay. Now, what if that never happened? What if? Would it be possible that you could go back and erase that from what is now just a narrative? Would it be possible? Whew. So go ahead and let that go. Let it out, let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out, let it go. Cool. Now, would you be willing to acknowledge what's shifted, changed in today's reality? And what if all of those narratives can now be destroyed, removed, and uncreated? And as you uncreate, would you also be willing to open the door to a new experience and possibilities? And what can you now call in by being the poet? And take a breath. What is it that you know that you're denying and refusing to know about your ability to change, heal, and create whatever you would like to change, heal, and create? Everything that is, would you now acknowledge, shift, and change? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're going to go into process, and the energy's already started. And how I do it is I take both my wrists, and you don't have to add this to it, but it usually can help activate it. And you make these tiny little circles, one on top of the other, just for like a little second, right? And when you do it, I want you to call in, I call this awesomeness. And this is a frequency that came up in an access class at the very end of an ESC. And I thought that it was just what Dane called ESC energy, which he's like, it's like a thrum. Well, this is more like a spark that goes up and down your spine. And when I got more into the ESC work, I realized this is a little different. So whatever it is, I open some sort of capacity that usually the audience can notice and participate and receive. So I use this to, and you can stop rubbing your wrists and start kind of just circling the energy inside and around. Cool steam, steamy coolness, and just spin it up and down, and we'll just start opening things up. And what I've noticed that it does is it like spits out shit for the lack of a better word, as we like clear stuff. As soon as we can acknowledge it, it can like get it out of your body, which is kind of cool. So the woman with the uterus, just, really bring it down, the better it seems to work. I've been doing this for the last 7 years, and the response has been really cool. So you're in for something really cool. I was actually saving this for Thursday, but we'll do it right now. So go ahead and start this energy of awesomeness. And it is internal. You don't have to close your eyes. You can keep your wrist going. Notice the sensitivity of your skin. Just notice what's going on inside. For those with tight muscles, tight fascias, plantar fasciitis, you can do this in that area as well. And in those areas that are tight within your body, just spin. And when you hit those bodies, and if you'd like, you can touch that part of the body. And as you do, I want you to just say hello to it. Just go with like a child, like if a 2-year-old were to come up to you and go, hi, right? Just like, hello. And you might get a response that's like, no, don't see me. Or it'll be angry. No, go away. I don't want you. Get away. Goodbye. Adios. See ya. Hasta luego, baby. Right? Or sometimes you'll get something that's like so intense that you don't want to stay there with it. You don't want to say hi. You don't want to see it. And I'm inviting you right here, right now, to be there. for it. Stay with it. Hi. And it's like, don't look. Go away. I'm wrong. Whatever it is, right? Just allow it, acknowledge it, hear it. No. Hear it's no. And once it does, you can start asking it. And you might want to move, things will change. Your hand positions will change. Sometimes I'll notice I'll be like touching with one little finger on something, and then it'll be like, doo, 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 doo. It's like a little piano or something, or it'll be like a whole hand, and I'll just touch it with one finger, and then I'll need another finger, just a little space in another place or here, so just allow yourself to go, right? Express wherever you need to express, wherever it makes you go. If it's the neck thing, right? Where is it asking, right? Is it asking quick, or is it asking, I think mine's asking a little quicker. But if it's asking slow, then you just stay, and let it go. And you can use this intense swirling, and you can use your hands, and then we go into question. So, hi, right? Hi. Hi. And start with what? What are you? What are you? What is this? And then if your head starts going, wait, okay, let me come from my heart. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? You can do this with your gifts and your superpowers too. Yeah. So find the spot in your body where your greatest superpower seems to be coming through. Like it might be your solar plexus or your heart or both. Your throat, Where on your body is your superpower capacity coming through? And then just put your hand on there. What is it that you know that you're hiding and refusing to know about this? And everywhere where you're hiding and refusing, would you destroy and then create an entirety? And take a breath. And maybe the hand moves. What is it that you know about this? All right. And then from what, I usually go into into frequency work. So get the energy of healing. How do you sense that someone energy? How do you sense that? Like, what does your body know about that? And would you be willing to let that in? The big question is willing here. Would you be willing to let that in? Would you be willing to acknowledge that you can and will? Can you and will you? And if you won't, well, then there's a whole nother set of processing, right? So what is it that you don't want to see here? Whew. So get the frequency of nurturing, right? It's like all cuddly. It's like such a different frequency than healing, right? Get the feeling of nurturing. And in that area that you've been playing with or working on, or just your whole body, it's what if you were really to nurture this? What if you were really here to nurture this? Are you here to nurture this? Are you here to help others nurture it? Are you here to help others nurture themselves? Would you let that in? Would you let that in? Really, really let it in. Really, really, really let it in. Whew. What about the energy of generative? Generative, evolutionary, constant changing, sustainable. Would you let that in? The energy of caring. How is that different? How can you add that? Would you be willing to now let it in? And more and more and more. Whew. Since this is an adult call, an adult call, what about orgasmic energy? You see how that like lights it up even more, like juicier, expansive, orgasmic energy. What do you notice? Whew. What about one of my favorite words lately has been ecstatic. Ecstatic, I'm ecstatic. Stasis. How are those frequencies, those energies different? Right? Would you now be willing to play in this area? Play with the resistance and reaction or alignment and agreement that you're having, the fights that you have with your body. How many things bring up fight between you and your body? Maybe, achy steps, neck stiff necks, dry mouth, dry eyes, right? The whole, hot sweat, hot flash. And are you willing to really receive it? Would you be willing to really receive it? Receive. Like, what if all that's happening is really here to show you another possibility, another experience, another awakening? And what if you would actually awaken to it? What if you would actually awaken to it? Or in Caroline's case, what if you'd actually sleep during it? What are you denying, refusing, and not seeing about this? And who else can help and contribute to creating change around it? The navigation of life, the navigation of it. One of the things, hold on, let's complete this. Okay, so with this this frequency is now yours, right? It's called awesomeness, and all you need to do is say, call up awesomeness to spin out. Energy is spinning to express how, say you jam your finger. So I'll just like jam it and then I'll see where I need to ask it And then I will quickly, it's often can spin it out. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I need like ice or, other things in this reality. But you know what? Usually my body knows what it requires. Like if it does need something like that, then it's like ice. It's like yelling at me. It's like cold. It's like hot, So, would you be willing to really, and would you be willing to really see what expression it's asking to be? What potency, what superpower is it asking to be? Anything doesn't allow it, would you destroy and create? And take a breath. Oh, all right, we have about 10 minutes. So I'd love to hear your feedback from that. If there were any nuggets of awareness in that, would you be willing to just let me know? Like, what is it that you got out of that? What is it that might change you, might change others because you now know it? How might it change your body? Where can you really go in and play and start to awaken your super healing powers, your super change agent powers? Where are you really willing to go? Okay. All right. So let's take a big collective breath together. Like I told you, I am a fan of this work called Soma Breath, and I will share a bonus. Anybody that has a VIP pass, I will share a bonus interview with the founder of it. And here's what I've found about it, right? Is whenever I do it, it immediately drops the parasympathetic system. It immediately relaxes me. I mean, it takes about 5 breaths, and we'll do 2 right now. And what it is you breathe in for 4 and you breathe out for 8. And if you have no more breath to breathe out, you just hold it. And then, unless you have to gasp and go, and sometimes that's the most beautiful thing in the world. So here we go. We're going to breathe in for 4. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And hold. And breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hold. And breathe in. And breathe out. And in. And no, I'm just kidding. All right. Now let's go on and claim some superpowers. And our next interview is with Megan Silito, and she is going to do some infusion work. And I think you're going to absolutely love it. Caroline said, the nuggets. You didn't hashtag anything. I thought you said, I'm still holding on and holding the energy for others. I think that's a question for you. Are you still holding on to the energy of others? Right? This is all like, I'm still holding on and feeling with my body. Okay, cool. All right, I see what you're saying. So everywhere where you're still holding on, would you be slash boom bang? Oh, hashtag's like the number 3, right? It's like above the number 3 on the keyboard. Hashtag. I think that's, I don't care if I don't care if you hashtag it or not. Just thank you for playing. Cool. So we got 7 minutes. Any other questions, any comments, any nuggets, any magic that you feel is happening through your body? I'd love to hear it without spilling my water. I think I'm going to take a sip of water. So this is on a mini delay here. So I know that sometimes I need to take a sip of water after I ask. So while we have a brief second here, let me tell you about my upcoming event called Be-ology. So it is an expansive 2-day event where we go into it. This is really for, first, let me preface that it's really for the person that really wants to step into being the creative in their life and living an ecstatic life. It's for many of us that want to, create a business. That's more where visioneering goes after this class. It's really for, these superpower women that have just started to really be their superpower, and they're ready to say, I'm ready to live that ecstatic life. And what we do in the class is body processes. It's all movement. And while we're moving, while we're doing body work, while there's sometimes some yoga work in here, and while we're doing all of that and experiencing each other, we process through whatever needs to be processed out to create more of our life, to have more of our life, to be more of that. So if, I'll tell you more about it, but if that's calling you to, want to take a trip in January, but it's in South Texas, so, that you can actually have like a light jacket and walk on the beach at that time. So it's really quite the dynamic time to do it. Plus, it's the beginning of 2020. Like, aren't you ready for the quantum 2020? Like, it's time to create. It's time to change. It's time to expand. It's time to be all we can be. So in 2020, no, just kidding. But yes, I that's really what it's about, just saying yes to you, getting in alignment with your dreams. It's a lot of going through the body, really embodying everything that you're being called to create in this reality. And it's, it's really, designed to make a shift in this world, to make a shift in this reality, not just but for you, but as an evolutionary growing tribe, right? I mean, it's you come if you're called, basically. And again, I'm running a contest, and if you want to be more a part of the contest, you just say nuggets and magic, and I'm giving away 2 free tickets. Of course, you'll still have to get your travel, and you will need a place that I do rent out for those that want it and want to come. I will usually, after somebody gets a ticket, say, hey, do you want a room? And it's $150 for a bunk bed. But it's kind of fun because you're in a room with like 3 other women and you get to like have a little slumber party. So the last time we did it, that became a really tight group. And then the second time I did it, there was some like little bit of bashing towards one another. So that's coming up. Hey, Megan. She just joined us in the staging area. So you're in the staging area. I see you down there. All right, you guys. So like we've done over and over again, we are going to close this down and re-up. So in like 2 minutes, refresh your browser I'm going to bring on Megan Silito, and we are going to do a quantum infusion, and you are going to love it. All right. Thanks for hanging around. I'm sorry Dawn didn't make it for this interview. I can tell she tried and tried and tried again. So I will figure out a way that we can at least get you an audio call from her, and it will be live and we can participate maybe on a phone line. So have a wonderful day, and I'm going to hop back on with Megan, and I hope you all join us right there. Refresh your Facebook pages. All right, here we go.